Hello, the Dabbling Hug fam. It's me, Dorian. And thanks for all the comments and subscribers because
you gotta look at them. Though.
Because I'm really happy that you did all this, and it means a lot to me. So thank you a lot because it means a really lot to me.
That's good. That's good. Okay, can I take it out now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You gonna stick around, or are you gonna come back here and there? You decide while I start my stuff. Okay.
Are you gonna do your stuff too?
Yep, I am. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna turn. Here. Okay, you're gonna stay here. All right. Hey guys, it's Laurel of the Dabbling Hook. I'm back. There's gonna be tons and tons and tons of life noises because we just came back from apple picking. You might be a little tilted too because you guys are on a tripod and I can't figure out how to get it to straighten up. You might hear hissing sounds. There's grilling. Hubby's trying to keep the door from slamming. So life noises. And you might hear baby crying in the background because everyone's back from apple picking, like I said, and baby's crying. They're watching football, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff I'm not interested because, you know, it's all about the yarn. Okay, so as you can tell, my voice is back. When I did the last video, which was the giveaway winner, it had just started, and I knew it was coming because whenever I get sick, hang on one second. Whenever I get sick, it starts with that tickle, and then it goes down my throat, and voice goes. So that's what happened. Kids got a good laugh at me, and my cousin's here trying to hand me something. Thank you. You want to come say hi? No. No?
Just do it! Just do it! Just do it!
Okay. So, this is going to be all over the place. I will pop in some apple picking pictures. If I kept the video, I'll put that in. I may do it in the beginning, so you may have already seen it. I have a list of things, but it's all going to be not in any kind of order at all. I'm just going to pick up what I've done, whether it's finished items or whips or whatever. So, the first thing, because we went apple picking, I made a little apple hat for my nephew. Oh, sorry, Dorian's going to show it. You got to hold it up, though.
Wait,
a little higher up.
Which one?
Yeah, right there.
Me or Benny?
No, this was for Benny. I'm still making yours. I'm in the process of making yours. It's not done yet. So that was his with the little curly Q at the top. That's that. And I also made, and this is going to go, yes, hands up, yep. Lots of interruptions too.
I am gonna actually like go somewhere.
Okay. And then you'll come back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See you later. Bye. Cool. Oh, look, people are here. We have an audience today you can't see. Does Benny want to be on camera? No? No Benny on camera. I'm going to put a picture of Benny, but I'm going to blur out his face in the picture before I post it. And he's throwing things. Anyway, oh, you're back already, huh? Benny doesn't want to be on camera. All right, so this may be long and rambling, so bear with me. So, the other hat that I made, that I finished, was another apple hat, but it's a green apple hat. Now, this is the Claudetta crochet tutorial out there. And when I saw her hat, I'm like, oh, I've made that. I've made tons of those hats in the past. And actually, my mom has a few of them still. But mine were always made from the top down. I made hers way back when, before I really started doing hats from the bottom up. And So I made hers because, hang on, because we were going apple picking. I made it in green to look like a green apple, and I made it small because she's got a tiny child head. But one of the I don't want to say complaints or criticism, one of the feedbacks of oh, you're missing the bunny in the neighbor's yard over there in their backyard. Anyway, one of the feedback on the pattern was that somebody's feet is kicking the tripod. Sorry. The cinching at the top made it really bulky, especially if you use bulky yarn, which I'll show another one that I did first, that I followed the pattern, well, almost followed the pattern. And I scrunched up the top with just a couple more decreases than hers had, but it was still too bulky because of the yarn that I used. And I've never really liked the cinching up because of that. So long story short, I made an apple hat, a green apple hat. This is some of the last of my stash of Lion Brand's Woolies tonal. It's basically Woolies chunky that they had, but in tonal colors. So this is hers, and I added, this is also Woolies tonal. I added the stem. So this is for my mom. And let me show the other.
This for Grandma?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
This is the first one that I did. Oh, I didn't even put my label on it. It's huge. Are you going to show it?
No, I was going to.
Yeah, hang on. I'll put it on your head so you can demonstrate. How's that? Okay, hang on. Let me talk about it first.
I'll review the next one.
You'll review the next one. Okay. This I made out of Karen cakes, the sprinkle cakes. So it's a number 6 chunky. It looks huge. Even looking at it, it really looks huge, but it fits like a glove. But this scrunch up here, it's extra, the scrunch is just extra bulky, and it looks like a helmet on your head. It fits well, especially this, but it feels like a helmet on the head. And I didn't like the scrunch, and I wasn't planning on putting a pom-pom. So I did do an additional decrease up here, but not as much as this green one. So for this green one, I did the first decrease as hers. Then I did a plain row round of front post and regular double crochet. And then the next decrease I did, what did I do? If it started with, so I did a front post, and then I took the double crochet decrease and the next front post, and I decreased them together into a front post. And then if the next one was a double crochet, I did a double crochet, and then I decreased the next 2 together. So however that was, basically I ended up with all,
You're already done with that?
Nope, not yet, hang on. I ended up with either a single crochet, a double crochet, or a double crochet and a front post decrease together. And then the next round I did all front post, and then the next round I did, shh, that was my mom making a lot of noise with the baby. So the next round I just decreased the front posts together. So it rounded it out nicely. I'll have to make it again to try to really clearly explain how I did that second round of decreases. But either way, it fits her perfectly. I had to make it child size. Like I said, she has a tiny head. So that's that. So I have 2 of those, and you guys have seen Summer has made it. Hers are in gorgeous colors. Like she used I think she used the Red Heart colors, and they look really nice. And she also used her knit crate to do it. And Z has made a bunch of them too, and she's actually using her fancy Malabrigo Madeline Tosh yarn. So that's that. I don't know if I do it in worsted weight because I need it to be done quick. Okay, out of order. Oh, my hat that everybody liked. Everyone has been asking me about that. I was at the deli yesterday, and the woman there who was doing my cheese, she was asking about that. I was in the yarn aisle at Michael's. Don't say anything. I went for something specific, so I didn't buy anything. But it is the facet yarn, because everyone loves the color, not only the design, because, you know, it's the divine hat that I love. And I added the, I want to call it the applied ribbing, because I did it obviously it's top down, and then I did the ribbing at the end instead of doing single crochets or front posts. But for some reason, it's drawing everyone's attention. So if you haven't made the divine hat, go make it. It's a easy pattern. There are a few people who've done tutorials on YouTube. They don't call it the divine hat, but it's basically the divine hat. I think some people call it the shells and swirls or something or other, but highly recommend. The designer for this is Thelia, and she also has a cable hat that I've done. And if I can find photos of it, I will add that there. But I've made her cable hat, or I used to make it a lot, but I haven't made any in a while. So that's that. What else? What else? Oh, purchases or acquisitions. Jane of Scraptastic Yarns was having a sale in her shop, and I am trying, especially since everyone has been really kind and supported me and bought my patterns. I've been trying to, I do always, but lately I've been doing a little more support of the designers or the makers. So she had this this fabric yarn bowl that I bought, and this is the rest of my Karen Big Cakes that I did the iguana in, and I've done a couple other things in. I still have a lot of it. So it fits perfectly in there. And this is just a worsted weight hat. That's Benny, you're hearing. That I'm trying to knit, but oh my God, it takes so long. My cousin's over there sitting there, and she's a crocheter, but she knits too, and it takes so long. Unless you're using chunky yarn all the way. So that's that. And again, nothing's in order.
When are we reviewing? Oh,
you want to review? I have this hat that I'm gonna. Should I put it on you? You like it?
Yeah.
You do? I may have to make you one in that. I think I have one more yarn that's more blue. I may make you one in that. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it on. Yeah. You gotta come in camera though. You gotta come in camera. Look at that.
It fully covers my hair.
It totally covers your hair.
I can't even see it.
Yep, it totally. Ooh, sorry. Did I just burp? My apologies.
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it, so then
silent.
it
It's
didn't.
silent but deadly.
It's silent but deadly. I think this is why people like having watching the podcast that have two people in there, because you just never know. Anyway, out of the mouths of babes. So, what Dorian here? Let me bring his head. Is modeling here. This is the studio sample from AC Moore. It's a roving type yarn, and they were $1 from the dollar bin. And I bought, I think, like 3 or 4 of them. This is 2 of those 50-gram balls that I used. I think I used almost all, and if not, there's just a little bit left. But yeah, it's nice and soft. Obviously, my gauge was way off because it's big, but Dorian's got a whole lot of hair, so the hat will do him well, and he can probably keep it if he wants. But I don't know if it's your color, though. Do you like the color?
Yeah.
You like the color? Well, we'll see.
It looks more like rainbow. I love it. I like rainbows.
Yeah, it's like a pastel rainbow color. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll want.
That's what you want? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'll want,
Okay.
especially because it covers my hair.
It covers your hair completely.
I don't want to see anybody seeing my hair.
Why not?
Well, I like to show my hair. Actually.
There's nothing wrong with your hair. It's nice and curly. Anyway, this will be so long and rambling. Yeah, he's off again. So yeah, so that's it. It's huge. If somebody had like really big hair or dreadlocks or something, I think this would be good, but I was way off. The studio samples, they don't give you the weight of the yarn on it, so you kind of have to guess. And I knew it was a chunky. It's in between a chunky, a number 5 and a number 6, and obviously my needle was just way too big. I don't remember I think I used an 8 or 9 millimeter. Way too big. So I do have a 7.5 that I think I will try when I do his. All right. Let's see, did I cover? I wrote something down here and I have no idea what it means. Okay, so I think this will go into craft fair talk. We talked about the Claudetta, the beanie. Oh, I'll talk about my craft fair in a bit, but I made an Algonquin beanie while I was there, and I forgot to take a picture of it, so it's packed away. But what was left of it, and it took one skein of the regular Thick and Quick, and this is what was left, and I just made this up on the spot. And right here, my repeats I counted wrong, so instead of, you know, having a break here, I didn't have enough repeats. So you want to come? Come on out. He's inviting everybody in, so this is a family event today. Are you gonna come on? Say hi. Come say hi. Sit down. Sit. Okay. This is my niece, Kalina. Oh, so the headband that I love making, it's called a Kalina headband that I make all the time, it's named after her. So surprisingly, she isn't wearing one, but usually when I see her, she has one on, so I can't complain. But it's named after her, so say hi, Kalina. Hi. Okay. You can go now if you want. Oh my God. All right. So as I was saying, this was the leftover from the yarn, and I'm trying really hard not to have leftovers, but I do have a bag of chunky leftovers or bulky. So I just made that while I was there. Simple enough. So, for the bind off, I know when I bind off, it's usually pretty tight. So, but the stretchy bind offs I've tried usually flare out, and I don't like it doesn't look neat. So I kind of did a combination. I did some stretchy bind offs and some regular bind offs. So it has some stretch, but it doesn't like flare out, and it doesn't just hold for my regular bind off. So, and this is the spice colorway of the Thick and Quick, and I love this color. And it's not showing up true because it's 5:50 on Sunday and light is going. All right, and Benny's over there like, You're smiling at me now, huh? He won't let go of the pacifier. Oh, I wish you could see him. All right, so the next work in progress, which I literally just cast on because my sister was going through my yarn stash without permission, looking for a certain type of yarn, which thankfully I didn't have in stock. And I pulled this out, and this is from AC Moore again, Studio Samples. I believe, I think Michael's had something similar. I don't remember what it was called, but it's just a really, it says it's a number 6. I'd categorize it more of a number 7. It's fluffy, but it's really big. And he's over here eating on my podcast. Thank you very much. So I pull this out. Like I said, it's 60% acrylic, 40% polyester. It's just really fluffy. So it reminded me, big. It's huge, that I bought this humongous.
Is that needle?
It's not really that big, but
do you use that? Do you ever like actually use that to knit?
To knit? I haven't until today. So I bought this from Mr. Hugs. He's on Instagram. He's been on Christy Glass, Christy Glass Knit. He's been on her videos twice already. And I think
let my dad come on.
Okay, he's just inviting everybody. The first time he was on, I think he was showing these that he came out with. So these are 38mm knitting needles. They are on these big tubes, basically. And it's been there for, it's got to be almost a year, I think, that I put it away and totally forgot about it. So I pulled it out, and I think I'm going to have to heat this up to let it relax. But right now it's just a big curl. So I figured I'd give it a try, but look at that. Literally, it's called the Big Sticks. And they do now have crochet hooks, but now you can find those everywhere. But at the time this came out, it wasn't as prevalent. So I'm going to see how that works up. And I may end up taking like multiple strands of some of my worsted that's just sitting there. And if this isn't too awful to work with. to try it out. So stay tuned, see if I continue with that. Okay.
I think he wants to be on here.
The wreath, I left it inside, but I have all these flowers. I'll pop in a picture. I made one and I ended up making all the bits for it, and my wreath was a small one from the Dollar Tree, and all those would definitely not fit on there. So I did have like a half wreath, but it was a wire one. So I ended up crocheting the cover for that. I used half double crochet, so right now it looks a little more rustic than the smoothness of the single crochet. So I still have to put that together. So hopefully I put in the picture. You can see what all the bits look like right now, but I am hoping to work on that this coming week because I don't have a craft fair right now until the 14th of October, because I had a few in October and they either moved the dates or my best one got canceled. They're having the fair, no, the festival part of it, but the craft vendor part they're not having this year, which is quite sad. So right now I have one craft fair in October, so I have a couple weeks, unless I find one, which I'm searching, I have a couple weeks downtime to kind of get things in order. So we'll see, but I'm also really busy at work right now, so God, who knows. So that's the wreath. Neckband. Seriously, I wrote something down and I do not remember.
What is that? What does that measure?
What that means.
That measure thing there.
To keep it level, and I know it's not level, so you guys might be a little tilted because that's what it looks like right now.
Oh yeah, I can.
And excuse all the sniffling, but I'm at the tail end of my cold, and it's just what it is. And look at that, somebody's being loud. You should see him. Okay, craft fair. Right now I made another one of these, and I've been saying I hope to have the pattern out for I think a couple weeks now, but this last week I had a good excuse. I got sick. Again, this is very similar to the big button cowl, but it's a little, the big button cowl is more of a looser cowl, although you can do whatever you want with it once you purchase the pattern. But this one has a couple of different techniques, different finishing. It's just I make it now a little snugger than I used to. This is the third incarnation of this particular one. I actually have a listing on my Etsy shop for a custom order of it, which I'm going to change once this is published. I'm going to change the makeup of that custom order listing too, because this is definitely the final version. But speaking of craft fairs, are we going to be on camera? All right, you're gonna hear a lot of screaming. Hey, Benny, look, say hi. This is Benny up there. Say hi. You wanna see? This will last like 2 seconds. Look at him. And there he goes. Benny's a mama's boy for sure. He will play with you. He will use you for all the attention in the world, but he won't stay on you, especially if his mother's anywhere near. So that was Benny. So craft fair. I am so sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry, but it's just a lot of stuff going on. And I won't see Dorian again for quite a while after today, probably not till Thanksgiving. So I figured we'll get the video in. So I made this, and I'm showing you this one because I had no gray yarn in my stash, so I didn't have any of these. And I had one person from my previous craft fair, which I should have gotten the yarn after, but I didn't. And at least 3 people this time asked for gray that I didn't have. So I went to Walmart for something completely different. Actually, I went for a stroller for him. No, something else. And then I picked up yarn. I picked up yarn and made this one. So I need to, in the 2 weeks downtime that I have, I need to go get some more. This is the Chicago charcoal color, and they have a Dallas gray, which is a lighter gray color. And then there's another one.
After states in the USA.
That's just the way they do it.
Weird.
Why is it weird?
Awkward.
He is full of opinions, just full. Anyway, so that's done. So, craft fair. This craft fair, I was a little worried. The first time, this is my,
Where's the craft fair?
You gotta talk to me without stuff in your mouth, though. So that means when I explain it to you, you gotta keep quiet because I don't want to hear talking with your mouth full of ice. It's all the stuff that I make. I go somewhere and I sell it. They have a whole lot of other people there selling stuff.
Where is it?
It was in the town that
Berlin?
No,
Hudson?
that uncle lives in. How do you know all the towns around here? He is a fountain of information. If you ever need to come to Massachusetts and you need to stop touching my tripod, or Boston, and you need to use the trains, Dorian's your man. He'll tell you where, and buses. He knows all the routes, where they all go, what train, what number. He knows it all, even the commuter rail. So full of information. Anyway, this craft fair, this was the 3rd year I'm doing it. The first year I did it because I had read good things about it, that it's, it's well attended, but it rained. It was on the tail end of hurricane season, and they said that they've had great turnout every year. Of course, the first year I did it, it rained. It wasn't like a downpour rain, but it was just so consistent that eventually my tent just saturated and things started dripping on everything. And it was just, I was using, I forget what I had. Sorry, Mr. Klutz. I was using whatever I had to like push the tent up because it would, the water would settle in spots and then it would just start dripping to push water. It was a mess. So that went awful. And then last year, it went very well. I was actually right near a food vendor and the music. So that brought in a lot of people. This year was the same as well, but it just wasn't as, wasn't as well attended as last year, but there were still a lot of people. But there were not a lot of buyers. People loved everything. Again, the big kids, the adults loved the toys. I had so many of them come in, and it's just the enthusiasm for all the stuff was more around the toys. But not so many buyers, but you can't really do anything about that. So that went well, much better than I thought it was going to, because for the first 2.5, almost 3 hours, I made like $30. And I think that was selling one thing or two things. No, I made $15 for a toy. That was the first one. And then after that, 30. So by the end of the 3rd hour, I'd made $45 or so. And I was really worried because then it was just going and going and nothing was happening. People would dribble in. And they finally came and things started selling. These, I sold, I think 4 of them yesterday. My fringed cow, I will pop in a picture. I sold 2 of those. The first one was to a little old lady. I shouldn't call her a little old lady like that. She was full of energy. And she said that. And she was asking me, I'm like, you want to try it on? I put it on. I showed her how you can wear it. And she loved it. And she just plunked right there. She bought it. And she said she wished it wasn't so hot. Otherwise, she could wear it around. And she's sure everyone would ask her, where she bought it from. So she just made my day. And then after that, it started kind of picking up. The highlight, though, and it turned out it was the same type of item. And I will pop in a picture here because the woman who bought it also had me, she let me post it on Instagram and I tagged her and everything. So I'll pop it here. She bought another French cowl and I saw her, I was towards the back and I saw her off to the side, like looking and trying. And then she walked around and she just blew me away because she, without me having to say anything, she had it on, and she had it on in that way that she had this plaid type shirt, bless you, tied around her waist, and it was like it was made for her. Turns out she's a stylist, which was awesome. But the way she just put it on, it was just like, yes. I mean, it made the whole day worth it. So I'll put in the picture. So like I said, I posted on, and then she reposted it on her page, and somebody actually said they wanted one. So hopefully they contact me, because I said DM me or email me about it. We'll see. There's another person who wanted one, but in a color that I didn't have at the time. So that's the other thing. I don't typically do take custom orders at the craft fair. I have on occasion, and I started making stuff, and then it's really hard to get hold of the person, or one reason or another. So now I'm like, here's my card, email me. That way I'll know you're really interested. And there's been a couple of times where it's taken a couple of days for somebody to email me, but they followed through basically. So I wait for them to initiate instead of me going out and being, oh, somebody wants something, I'll go buy the yarn and start making it. No more. That's almost like you making the item and sitting on it because you can't get hold of somebody and they won't pay you anymore or whatever. So let them email me and initiate it and come. So somebody else said they want one, so we'll see. Because people asked about the gray, so I'm going to stock up on a few of those. I did sell all my keychain octopuses are now all gone, so I need to make those. Those are mini ones that I made. I think I showed it last time. Those are all gone. I sold a couple of octopuses. What else? Oh, I sold an Algonquin hat. That was the first time, which is awesome. So I need to make a couple of the regular size ones there, because I have a couple of a baby and a child size that hasn't sold, and an oversized one that hasn't sold. So so I need to make the regular size. I sold a footbridge beanie as well, which was awesome, and that one was actually sold right at the right at the very beginning. No, sorry, right at the very end when I was packing up again. Same thing happened at the last fair, and it was an Algonquin hat that sold too. I was packing up and somebody came in late, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead and look, and she bought it, and the same thing happened there too. And it was a mother and daughter, and the daughter wanted it, and mom bought it for her, and it worked out. So all in all, I thought the day was going to be a bust. I actually texted my husband and said that I think this day is going to be a bust, and it turned out better than I expected. Way less than my previous two, but nothing to sneeze about. So my throat is getting very dry and very scratchy again. Like I said, I'm at the tail end of the sickness, and everything just seems to be like stuck in my throat and bugging the crap out of me. Excuse my French. So that is all I think I have. Oh, I'm totally coordinated today. This is a sun hat I made 2 years ago. Was it? I think 2 or 3 years ago. Oh look, Minion One's here. So I wore it apple picking. Everyone knows you as Minion One. It'll never change. You want to come say hi to Z? She'd rather you come and say hi.
I did say hi.
Visually. He's too cool now for my videos. Breaks my heart.
You were in the last one.
You weren't in the last one. I had to take you out because you were showing your behind.
Now you're going to have to take that off.
It's just the football being kicked.
No, not that. What you just said.
I'm not taking it out. Teenagers. Anyway, Dorian, you're going to come say bye. I'm done. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, Dabbling Hook fam.
Sorry. Oh, by the way, he's dubbed you guys the Dabbling Hook fam, as in family. So, yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten something because this was just a mishmash. I try to, after being sick, I try to just write everything. I will put a link below. I'm sure a lot of other people have made them. Oh, the other person who made that Claudette crochet was My Yarning Life. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. But she made too. And she also didn't care for the cinching. And she did her own kind of Sorry, my throat is really getting dry. She also did her own decrease to get that out. I think she had like 2 or 3 tries at it. So they are now playing football in the backyard. It's going to be very, very loud. So I am going to go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the get well wishes from the last video. Congratulations again. Oh my God, I am totally Teresa on winning the giveaway. You should, I think, by now have your item, so I hope you've received it. Let me know if you haven't. I did send you the tracking number. And on that note, before my throat totally closes up on me, I am going to go. Thank you guys again, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh, I take my hair thing out for my hat to. Bye. Okay.